Very much, Chairperson. Chairperson, I would just like to direct, the following question to the Minister. And that question hinges on the fact that, we are following the Act and we are following the basic provisions of the Act. And this isn't just to test an understanding of the Act and what it encompasses, but it is also something very crucial to understand what could be a conflict of interest. Now, Chairperson, I just want to ask, on what basis and what was the rationale behind setting up the board, or rather the body that conducted the interviews for the National Arts Council appointments and for the shortlisted candidates?
The Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Liam Jacobs. That is what is required of us by the Act. So we are just following the Act to the letter. Thank you.
Chairperson, I asked on what basis was the interview panel constituted? What informed the rationale behind it, apart from just the Act, Chairperson?
Yeah,
what informed the rationale behind the fix?
He said based on the Act.
I don't need any other rationale other than the Act.
All right. Does the Minister know who Liesl Penniken is?
Very well.
How does the Minister know who Liesl Penniken is?
I've been following her music since I can remember.
Is it true that Liesl Penniken has performed at multiple Patriotic Alliance events?
She's performed at PA events, ANC events, I think even your party's events.
Is she an active member of the Patriotic Alliance?
She's a member. I wouldn't say she's an active member, but she's a member of the Patriotic Alliance.
So, Chairperson, that is why I put it to you, Chairperson, that I find it very interesting that the person who was the chairperson of the current board that we have is a member of the Patriotic Alliance. And that is why I want to ask, Minister, you said that the Act is what we are following, and we are following the Act to the T. Are you aware that subsection, or rather section 5.1b of the Act says, a member of the council shall not hold office in any political party or political organization?
I'm very aware of that, and that's why she's not holding any office. What you are inferring is not correct. Liesl Penniken holds no office in the Patriotic Alliance.
That question was not in relation to Liesl Penniken. This question is if you understand that that's a provision within the Act.
I don't understand what you're saying now, because we speak about Liesl Penniken. So when did we jump to somebody else, Honorable?
I was satisfied with what was mentioned about Liesl Penniken and her allegiance to the Patriotic Alliance and her position as a chairperson of the panel that conducted interviews. I'm asking you now separately, do you understand the provision made in 5.1b? Thank you, Chairperson. I want to then ask, what informed Liesl Penniken becoming the chairperson of the interview panel?
Well, firstly, nothing precludes her from becoming a part of the panel. Let's start there. Secondly, we have explained previously that we followed the Act to the letter. So nowhere in the Act does it say a Liesl Penniken cannot form part of the process. So we have followed the Act, and if you can point out to me where in the Act does it state she cannot be part of a thing, then I would be able to answer. But whatever feeling you might harbor against Liesl Penniken, or I might harbor, has no bearing on her appointment or the law or the Act. Let's follow the Act, because we clearly come from different viewpoints.
Chairperson, there seems to be a deficit in the understanding of how what could be considered following an Act to the T and then saying that you have done things properly could preclude the fact that there might be a moral and ethical deficit within appointments made in certain aspects. And that is why, Chairperson, I want to ask, is Eugene Botha still a top 10 member of the Patriotic Alliance, and does he hold any office within the Patriotic Alliance?
Let me first please answer this question, these two questions that you just raised in this one sentence. You are unable to tell me the Act that precludes Liesl Penniken from holding, sitting on the panel. In the absence of you not telling me what act we have breached, your feelings and my feelings doesn't matter here. Secondly, office bearers of a political party is the top 6. Eugene is not an office bearer of the Patriotic Alliance. There was an old linked thing where he was there for 2 days when we wanted to remove the Secretary General and we reinstated her in our party. He is currently, and during his term, in a political office in law, has been defined in law through precedent and court cases. And he is not a political office bearer of the Patriotic Alliance. If the chairperson allows me, I can give you the top 6 of the Patriotic Alliance.
Chairperson, if I may come in here, Chairperson, I would like to actually then say that if you want to tackle this on a legal basis, right, this is where the Act is currently contradicting with what has previously been fought in the court of law. Previously, in the court of law of our country, you'll find that it has said that individuals who hold political offices are allowed to work within state entities such as municipalities and provincial governments and national government departments. That is said, right? And the notion of political office bearer refers to anybody who is elected. Now, I understand that that notion is foreign to your party, as your party obviously functions in an appointment-based system. But in the event and the absence of there being elections, naturally appointments would then fill that void, right? Therefore, even if he is a branch chairperson or he's a constituency leader or if he's something like that, he becomes a political office bearer.
He's none of the things you've just mentioned. He's not a branch chairperson. He's not none of the things you've mentioned. And we cannot operate on assumptions and what if and what if. What is the law saying? Let's deal with each other on the Act. A political office bearer is the top 6 of the party. He's not a political office bearer, number 1. Number 2, what are you trying to imply? I'm saying to you that he's not elected, he's not a branch chairperson, he's not a political office bearer. What do you want me to say in as far as Liesl Pennican and Eugene is concerned?
So, Chairperson, to the public, then I put it, that it is very interesting that the minister is of a particular party, that the leader of the individuals conducting the interviews is that same political party, and ultimately the chairperson of that board then becomes the same political party. There is certainly, Chairperson, we must investigate certainly, Chairperson, whether there is actual ethics that can be found in this, Chairperson. Because in as much as there is a precedent for this, legally speaking, Chairperson, we must investigate the potential of a conflict of interest here. Because we understand, Chairperson, we must understand the framework that certain parties operate in, Chairperson. When you operate in what is a dictatorial party, Chairperson, then you are bound to that leader in that party. When the leader can fire you as he pleases, Chairperson, when the leader has explicitly thrown his own members out of parliament, Chairperson, then we must talk, Chairperson. I'm still talking. I will not be point of order by Honorable.
Hold on, you cannot.
All right, thank you very much, Chairperson. I shall proceed. Chairperson, I'll come back to the rationale. In as much as the Act prescribes that the minister can make those appointments, Chairperson, I want to understand his understanding as to why a member of the Patriotic Alliance became the chairperson of the interview panel. That led ultimately to the chairperson of the board being a member of the Patriotic Alliance as well, while he himself as a minister is a member of the Patriotic Alliance. What is the rationale? He's not answering the question.
Chairperson, the honorable member says I'm not answering the question, but he's still busy asking the question. I am one person that's not in the habit of disturbing people while they speak. Right. I want to answer Honorable Liam nicely, but I want him to tell me just one thing so I have clarity. He said, I have thrown a member of the PA out of parliament. Who's that member? So that when I answer on fact and not innuendos and gossip and lies. Well, seeing that in this committee, we're not supposed to ask for clarity. I'm asking, Honorable Jacobs, I'm saying we can stop and play the tapes back. Honorable Jacobs said, I have thrown members out of parliament. That's a serious, I'm a leader of a party. I have hundreds and thousands of people voting for me. If somebody hears I've thrown out members out of parliament, it is a thuggish act. Now you want me to just, but let's park it for that, because he must tell me. If he can, why can't he just mention it? He always mentions stuff. Why can't he mention whoever I thrown out?
Chairperson, he must speak to the substance of what I have just said, Chairperson. He's going off of the point here. He must come back to the substance of what I have just said.